Hey everyone. So today we're going to be looking at one sample t-tests and how to use them in SPSS. So on your 824 assignment, open that up and you should read this through, but I'll go over it a little bit with you and show you how to do it through SPSS. So for one sample t-test, basically what it is you're comparing um, a certain population to the global population. Um, so, like, we have our global mean scores right here for self-esteem, attitude towards looking for partners, revised mental health inventory, revised mental health inventory. So, what we're going to do is we're going to select one, and we are going to write a report for that. So yeah, let's do that. So we're here. This is the data set that you'll be provided. So let's, for the sake of example, we can do total RSE and self-esteem. So we're going to go analyze, and then we're going to do compare means and proportions, and then we're just going to do a one sample t-test. So in here, we're going to do total RSE, which is going to be your self-esteem. And as we can see here, the published mean global score slash global mean score is 15. So down here in this, we're going to write 15. So we're going to click OK, and this table is going to show up. So how you're going to read this is you're going to look at the first and the second tables. So the first table is going to tell us our n value, our mean, our standard deviation, and our standard error mean. You really only have to focus on the mean on this one. And then once we go down to the second table, we're going to look at our t-value, our degrees of freedom, and then our two-sided p-value, which is less than 0.001. And then since it's less than 0.005, we're going to accept the alternate hypothesis rather than rejecting it. So how do we submit this? How do we do this? So to write it in APA format, there's actually an example right here. You can just rewrite this, but for this sake, you're just going to do this. So for the sake of the example, I'm just going to do this. So for the one sample t-test 824, you're going to write something along the lines of a one sample t-test was performed to evaluate whether the significant difference between the self-esteem in the sample and global mean score for self-esteem. The mean for self-esteem is 22.07, and the standard deviation was 6.37, which we can see here, right here, 6.37, and then the mean is right here, 22.07, and we can just pause the example right here and see what this means, because a higher mean than the global average could mean that the population has less or more self-esteem depending on how the study is scored. So we're going to look at our psychometric survey, and we're going to go to self-esteem. It should be right here. It is right here, yeah. So right here it says higher scores indicate low self-esteem. So therefore, on our test here, our mean is 22.07. It's higher than the global average of 15, which we can see here. Therefore, the self-esteem of this sample is going to be higher. So, or it's going to be lower since the mean is higher. Yeah. So, what we want to do is we want to do the global mean score of 15. Your t-value is dependent on your degrees of freedom. So you're going to do t parentheses 394, which is your degrees of freedom, which is df right here. And that's going to equal your t-value. And then you're going to do p is less than 0.01. P is less than 0.01. We use 2 decimals instead of 3. sometimes you might be used to seeing less than 0.001, which is up here. Since we are only using 2 decimal places in our statement, we are going to just use 2 decimal places for the p-value. So we're going to do p is less than 0.01, and that does indicate that the participants in the study are having lower self-esteem as compared to the broader population. The alternate hypothesis is accepted and the null hypothesis is rejected. So in your report, you want to write your alternate hypothesis and your null hypothesis. You're going to write your report, and then you're going to upload the screenshot. This isn't a great example of a screenshot, but yeah, you could copy it, just copy and paste it in the assignment, and you should be good. All right, guys.